beach because it rained. And now the sand is cold. There's a rainbow. It's a nice open beach because it rained. On Wednesdays, I'm here in the car. I actually have to go drop off some paperwork at the doctor's office for back to school registration, but I wanted to connect with you guys. It's Wednesday. Walk on Wednesday means we're gonna walk on in faith. And I wanted to talk today about stepping out and doing something you are called to do. I don't know if you guys know, I guess you might not, but recently I have been called to leave my job, to quit my work. And I've worked for my job for 10 years, well, almost 10 years, it's been 9 years. It's a good government job, right? And most of my family has good government jobs, and like the big goal in life is to get a good government job. But I feel called to go do something different. One of the things is to do this, to do these videos, to do the podcast, but also I'm doing childcare. Completely different, but whatever. It's what I'm called to do in this season of my life. And I was thinking about how sometimes we feel a calling, or we know our purpose, or God is speaking to us, or we're just dissatisfied in life and we stay stuck. We just sit. When really we're called to live a life of abundance, not just abundantly wealthy, but abundantly happy, abundant in purpose, abundant in fulfillment. And if you aren't living in a life of abundance of all things, love, happiness, joy, yes, financial stability, then it's time to step out and do something different. And I was thinking about Peter, our favorite disciple, Peter. He's my favorite because he's kind of messy, and I'm kind of messy, so I can relate to Peter. And I was specifically thinking about, if you read in the Bible, I think it's Matthew 14. I'll double check and put it in the description of the video. But this is when the disciples, they're on a boat, they're in a lake, and Jesus walks on water to them, right? So I think like it's nighttime. Jesus went off to pray. Everybody else is chilling in the boat, and Jesus comes and walks on water. They're all kind of scared because first they're like, is that a ghost? Like, what is happening? They've never seen anything like this at all, but it's Jesus. And so Peter is like, okay, if it's you, Lord, like, let me step out of this boat and walk. And Jesus is like, yeah, bro, come on, let's walk. So Peter, nobody else does this. It's just Peter climbs out and he walks on water. He's the only disciple to have walked on water, like that I know about, maybe, whatever. So Jesus walks on water, Peter's walking on water, and that's amazing, right? Like it's awesome, right? So what I was thinking about when I was reading this text was like, okay, Peter had to be brave enough to first of all step out of the boat. Everyone else is safe. Everyone else is safe inside of the boat for sure. They're chilling. They're hanging out. But Peter is brave enough to talk to God first. Is it you? Jesus says, yes, it's me. Okay, then let me walk on water. Jesus says, come on. So Peter first asked God, is this you? So that's your first question. Is this you calling me to take this step, or am I rushing through this step? So like, if you have a job, don't just go quit it today. I was in the process of quitting this job for like 3 months, like for months and months, figuring out my life, and the time just came and I had to go. So first, is it Jesus? Is it God? If it is, great. Step 2, you have to be brave enough to take your little feet, and put them on the other side of the boat, which means stepping onto cold water, stepping on out of your comfort zone. Okay, so you have to be willing to step, and then you have to keep your eyes fixed on Jesus. So in this part of the text, Peter steps and he's walking on water. So we're really excited about this part because Peter's looking at Jesus. Jesus is looking at Peter. Jesus is like, I got you. And Peter is actually walking on water. He's doing the thing that he asked God, can I do this? And God gave him the green light. A big wave comes. A big wave is coming. It's like a stormy night. Peter looks at the wave. Peter takes his eyes away from Jesus, and what happens? He sinks. He sinks. And so in this whole text, I was just relating it to my life and the journey that I've been on. But the whole point is, and ignore my broken pinky, but the whole point is that we need to step out in faith for what we feel called to do, what we get the green light to do, and then we have to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus in that process. Because a lot of us are stepping into the unknown when we take that big leap. Something we've never done before. Something we can... So we take the step. Keep our eyes fixed, because if you don't, you're going to notice the problems that arise with it. So I'll give you my example. I just quit my job, working on my daycare that I'm opening up. But in the meantime, there are bills. There's back to school shopping. There's me getting kids enrolled and me actually getting it. So I did the leap. I took the step. And actually I have a really cool, I'll do like my testimony in a different video. I have a really cool story about taking this leap, and I want to share it with you guys some more. So I take the step, right? There's things that still have to be done. There are problems, or not even problems, just challenges on the horizon. But my job is to just do the next thing, to just take the next step, to just do what is the next necessary action, and keep my eyes fixed on Jesus. Because if I look at the storms, I'm going to go, let me go back to that job I was called out of. Let me go back to the comfort and just sit here for 6 more months. I could do that easy. No, it's time to move. This is your time. It's not always going to be easy, but if we can keep our eyes fixed and focused on Jesus, then we can continue to do the amazing, miraculous thing. Walking on water, unheard of. That's a freaking miracle, okay? You can do that miraculous thing if you keep your eyes fixed. The other thing I wanted to say that I noticed is that, okay, so Peter, he did it. He got scared, and it's fine to get scared, but his eyes left Jesus. So as soon as his eyes left Jesus, he sinks into the water, and now he's yelling for Jesus, my God, like, and you know, Jesus grabs his hand and pulls him back up, which means that in your journey, let's say that you do take your eyes off of Jesus, or maybe you started to take the step, maybe you took a step backwards, you lost focus, you lost faith, and you start to sink back in. All it takes is calling back out to God, connecting with God again, speaking with God again, focusing on God again, and he can pull you back up into that miracle. So your miracle isn't over if it started and it stopped. Your miracle isn't over if you haven't started. It doesn't matter how old you are. I saw that quote that was like, you could start at 21, fail at 35, start again at 36, you know, be a success at 47. However your story goes is your story. But that's just a reminder that as we walk on Wednesday, the first relaunch of Walk on Wednesdays, we're literally going to walk into our purpose, and that's going to take faith. It's going to take action, and it's going to have to take us being focused, locked in with Jesus. No distractions. No like trying to do it on your own. Literally lock in, and then you too will be able to walk on water. I love you guys. Thank you guys for checking out the video. I will see you guys next week. Be blessed. Make sure that you follow, hit subscribe, like, follow, comment if this touched you. Comment if you're gonna take a big leap of faith. Comment if you need prayer to take a leap of faith and what you're trying to step out in. Just let me know what's going on in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed, because there's a whole bunch of other types of videos I make aside from Walk on Wednesdays that are going to be helpful, or maybe beneficial, or at least give you someone to connect with, right? So anyway, be blessed. I love you. I will talk to you on soon. Bye. Ignore this broken pinky. My other nails are cute. It's a nice open beach because it rained, and now the sand is cool. There's a rainbow. It's a nice open beach because